Hey there! In this video we will group chat messages by date. So we will be able to split chat feed into date related messages. Alright, let's navigate back to the code and let's see how we're going to approach that. So first of all, we need some sort of a function that will group our messages by dates. So let's create one. Let's open helpers.js, and here at the bottom, let's create new function that we will name group by. It will receive an array as a first argument, and then it is going to receive grouping key function. It is going to be a callback. And let me explain how we will use this group by function. So we're going to call it like this. As a first argument, we will pass messages array, and then grouping key function is a callback that will receive an item of this array. So in our case, message item. Then whatever we return from this callback is going to be our grouping key. So in our case, it is date. So we're going to return message item created at, something like this. Then this group by will return us an object where every key is going to be this grouping key that we return from this callback. So if we return date, then it is going to group us messages by date. So let's say something like we have date like this, and then we will have array of messages related to this date, and so on and so on. Okay, I guess that's clear. Now let's create that function. Let me uncomment that, and we're gonna use array.reduce. So array.reduce receives a callback, and second argument is the initial state, initial value. So it is going to be just an object, and for the callback, first argument is accumulator. We're gonna use, let's say, result, and then the current value, current item, just going to be item. Okay, from every iteration we're gonna return result, and then we will perform the next thing. First, we're gonna put grouping key variable, and we will call grouping key function, and we will pass item inside. So in that way, we will be able to access message item inside this callback. Okay, good. Now, we're gonna check against the null value or non-existent value. So if result grouping key property does not exist, then we will initialize it, as otherwise we will receive a warning or an error if we try to perform something on non-existing object. So we're gonna put result grouping key, and then we will put it as an empty array. Alright, then if this does exist, then we're gonna put result grouping key dot push current item, and this is it. Now we are able to use it. Let's open messages index.js, and let's find the place where we render messages. So right now it is just this map function over here. Let's actually copy it and delete, and instead of this map function, we are going to use our own custom function, render messages, that we will create. So here let's put const render messages, and it is going to be a function, and inside we will put this message map, but let's comment it for now, and here we will call group by. So let's put const groups, then we will call group by, we will pass messages, our state as a first argument, and then grouping key function. So it will receive message item, and we will group it by date. So we need to specify item created at. But created at, as you remember, it is just a database timestamp. It is not a date object that we can use or display inside JavaScript. So let's convert it to date object, and then we can format this date object with toDate string. Alright, so now we have groups, and we need to create elements that we will push and display inside JSX inside DOM. So let's create object keys, then specify groups, and for each method. So what is happening here, that we're gonna loop over every date, every key inside groups object. So we're gonna have date over here, and for every date, first we are going to create items array. So let it be let items, we will modify it. And for these items, first we're gonna push our first element, that is going to be a date li element. So let's create new li. Inside we will display date, and class name is going to be text center margin bottom 1, and padded. And also we need to specify key, which is going to be date, and it is unique within this groups array. Alright, now we need to also push all messages related to this particular date. So we can create new messages array, and we're gonna use this map function over here. So we're gonna put groups date to access all messages related to this particular date that we are currently iterating over. So groups date dot map, and we're gonna map every message to message item from here. Let's copy it and let's delete it. We don't need it anymore. So we're gonna map it like that, and at the very end we're gonna simply call items dot concat and then messages. All right. And this is actually it. And at the end of this function, we're gonna return items, and they will be rendered to the DOM. So it says that items is never reassigned. All right, so let's put const, let's save it, and let's take a look. Now, if we navigate, I don't see any message. Let me try slightly different syntax. Now, if we refresh, all right, we can have icons. Okay, so let's use that one instead of concat. So what we are doing here, we spread all our array items into push, so they are treated as separate arguments to push. So instead of passing our messages like that, we pass them like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right? So this is what this spread operator does in this case. Okay, so now we have, let's say, Thursday, June 18. If I put hello, now I have June 19, so it actually works. And now we have this pretty little neat grouping. All right, so this is it, and I guess we are done here. Let's finish our video. Let's put git at everything, then git commit, and let's specify grouped messages by date. Perfect. See you in the next one.